Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today we're having a whiskey called Kavalan, and it's actually from Taiwan. And today we have Silvia Engelhardt here. You're also known as Miss Kavalan.
Yes.
And you're on very many whiskey fairs in Germany, and you're the brand ambassador, or how would you describe yourself?
Yeah, I'm the one who does everything, but yeah, mostly I'm doing brand ambassador.
Jack of all trades.
Yes.
Well, how is that? Jane of all trades, or I don't know. So, but if you are in Germany and you visit a whiskey fair, you will probably meet her.
Yeah, or in Austria or in Switzerland.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for being here
you.
and bringing the brand a bit closer to us. And if you are living in Netherlands or Belgium, you can actually buy these whiskey sets on our website. And the small one, this is a small package. There are 3 miniatures in here. If you are 1 or 2 people, that's suitable for you. And if you are bigger groups, like 5, 6, then you can actually buy them as a set of 07 bottles. And yeah, so it's always nice to chat with you. Not quite sure how many people are there. Not seen anybody in the chat yet.
Hello.
So can you give us a little hint about what we're going to try today?
Yeah, so we brought 3 different expressions. The first one is called Kavalan Lan.
Mm-hmm.
It's a vatting of bourbon, port, and STR wine cask, and bottled with 43% of alcohol. In the middle, we have an Oloroso sherry oak. It's 46% of different batches of Oloroso sherry.
Mm-hmm.
And our last whiskey is going to be the Solis Vinho Barrique, which is a single cask strength whiskey out of a STR wine cask.
Okay, so this is a small sample, I would say, because Kavalan does have quite a number of. Is there like a number where you have like how big is the core range?
The sort of core range is round about 20 different bottlings, but with the Solis, there are some that aren't constantly available, and you can get them in 1 year, but in the next year they don't sell it, and then after 3, 4, 5 years it comes out again, depending on how many casks they have available. Mm-hmm. So, but I think the core range, which is constantly available, is around about 20 different bottles.
Okay, that is quite a lot for such a distillery. As I said, Kavalan comes from Taiwan, the Yuanshan region. Did I pronounce it right?
Yuanshan, yeah.
Yuanshan, and yeah, that's the north of Taiwan. Taiwan is in the Pacific, or is it?
Yeah,
Pacific.
The Pacific Ocean. Yeah.
It's like what is it, east of Japan and southeast of Korea?
It's in the triangle between China, Japan, and the Philippines, basically.
Okay, so South China Sea, I think it's called, right?
Well, the South Chinese Sea is further south.
Is it further
it's
south? Okay.
Actually, the Pacific Ocean.
Pacific Ocean,
and the Taiwan Strait.
Yeah, but it is pretty south. So what the whole thing that we're gonna try today, probably a lot, is it's a tropical climate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mountainous region on the island. I know it has
the island is quite small, actually. It has about the size of the state of Baden-Württemberg.
Oh, okay.
So it has a length of round about 390 kilometers and a width of 144 kilometers. So it's not really big, but they have different climatic zones. Yeah. So they have the Pacific Ocean, but they also have mountains that are higher than 3,000 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Taiwan is a very, very special place. I come from a little bit of the IT side. I'm a little bit interested, and I'm always very baffled about when you have like the high-tech computer chips. 60% of high-tech computer chips comes from one company. It's Taiwan Semiconductors, TSMC, and the other one, 30% comes from Samsung, and then you have Korea and Taiwan, and they're kind of friends, I think, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and they are like the monopoly of the world, and Intel is like, Intel. Anyway, but the island is high technology, and I think the the company, you told me a little bit about the company. They come from like technology side or?
No, they started. It's a bit weird. They started in the how do you call this? Like agricultural pesticides thingy.
Okay.
So they do like stuff for agriculture to keep germs away.
Okay.
They also have like a chemical side where they do dish detergents and body lotions and stuff like this. And then when that sector was running quite well, our boss said, okay, that's working. So now let's do something different on top. And then he started in 1979 with a company called Kinka Group, which was in the food and beverage industry.
Okay, that's what you have on the very top. And King Car, they don't produce any kings and they don't produce any cars.
It's a phonetic translation of the Chinese. They are named Jin Che. Jin means gold and Che means car. So it's a golden car is their logo. And gold symbolizes richness and wealth. And a car is a symbol for moving forward. So basically by developing and moving constantly forward, you may become rich.
Ah, okay. So, yeah. So very much symbolism.
It's a symbolic, yeah.
Symbolism
like Asians work
there.
a lot with symbolic.
But I'm baffled about the company because they have also like orchards and they have coffee and restaurants, and so it's like a company like was it Toshiba or
Well, I tend to compare it to like in Germany, Dr. Oetker. Everybody knows it.
But I think they do only have food, right?
Yeah, they do only food.
Yeah, but was it Fujitsu? You can get like, no, what was it? Not Toshiba, Hitachi. You can get like a shaver and you can get an excavator.
Oh.
so they do everything. Like Siemens also the power plants, and you have like a dishwasher.
Yeah, but it's still more like.
So they're like
electric.
a really mixed company with a lot of different products, and now whiskey as well.
Yeah, whiskey is like the dream of our senior boss.
Yeah.
So he's a whiskey enthusiast and he really loves whiskey. And it was his dream to one day produce whiskey in Taiwan for the Taiwanese people.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
there were two problems. One was a financial.
Okay.
That was gone one day with his Kinka Group. He did quite everything right. And the second one was a state monopoly on alcohol.
Oh,
Which
okay.
was in Taiwan until they joined the World Trade Organization in 2002.
Okay.
And when that was banned, he could get closer to realize his dream.
2002.
Yeah.
Is that before or after Switzerland?
I don't know.
I think Switzerland was around the millennia as well. So it's strange how some countries have like monopoly on alcohol into the 21st century, but
No,
yeah.
I think the Swiss were sometimes in the late 90s or something when it
Was it 90s or was it 2000? I'm not quite sure.
But wasn't
But
that
somewhere
like a
around
law
there.
that you cannot use grain for anything but food, like do not waste the barley
that was in
for
the
drink
90s.
instead of food?
Yeah,
I think
that
that
was
was
in,
the reason in Switzerland why they weren't allowed to
was
produce
it?
alcohol.
I know that they had a monopoly on beer as well, but we're getting a bit off topic here. What also is Kavalan is actually the name of the brand. The distillery is called King Car
Yuanshan
Distillery. Yuanshan is the town
is like the town is
or city or
I think it's the county or something.
district
I
or
don't-
county or something of the people
so it's
that live there.
I think it's Yuanshan County in, or is it Yilan County and Yuanshan is the township.
Okay.
That way around, I think.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Kavalan is basically the old name for the region of Yilan in the language of the Aborigines there.
Ah, okay. And
So it was called Gumalan, and that's the Chinese name for Kavalan.
okay. So what is also interesting, you can see the distillery here. It looks a bit Scottish there, and you have a big highland mountain with a white top, I think. Is there?
Oh, it's clouds, I think.
I think maybe it's
But
clouds.
there should be mountains if there weren't clouds.
I think there is a little bit of a mountaintop in the bend, but
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't see it. It's. I have not been there. I've unfortunately these are all pictures not taken by myself, so I can't tell everything about these pictures. But what I can tell you is the size of that distillery. It now has a capacity of 9 million liters. They expanded, I think, two times. But now they have 9 million liters of capacity. Just to give you a heads up, if you have the single malt market, the premium single malt market, it's in the top 10. If you count the Americans with their column stills, then obviously maybe top 50 then. But they are producing quite a lot. If you have like Ardbeg, they have 2.5. Kalila has 5.5. They're only like Macallan and Glenfiddich is bigger. So they are really big. And they are in the European or American market, but I think you said Asia is still
the biggest market. Yeah.
The biggest market. Yeah. They just started in 2005 and started distilling in 2006.
Yeah.
And that means
so they were quite fast in building the distillery. It took them 9 months. So it's like a pregnancy for building a distillery.
that is really fast.
Super fast.
So the thing is, what I want to say, they are a brand now in 2025 that is well recognized in the international scene. So it's really remarkable what they did. What is then strange is they started distilling in 2006 and brought out their first single malt in 2008. So how is that possible?
Because there's a law in Taiwan that whiskey can be called whiskey after 2 years.
Okay.
But by now they mature everything for 3 years, so they can sell internationally.
Okay. And I think we have a question there. A question in between.
An official age statement.
Will there be an official age statement on any Kavalan in the future?
They do have some special bottlings.
Okay.
In the future that show age, but the core range won't.
Yeah.
Because it's actually age does not really matter to them.
The thing is, age would be. I think age would be a bit distracting.
Well,
because they are so young. If that here is natural.
On those they don't put age, but
it's
they try
natural
to,
color. If you'd put that in a blank bottle and show anybody and ask what age is that, and everybody would vote with Scotch in mind, they would all say something between 20 and 30, or maybe 30 plus, something like that. And I don't think that this is 10 years old.
No, it's not.
So
no,
this would be
basically, if you put an age statement on your core range, you can as well shoot yourself. Because then people would think like, you cannot drink a 5-year-old whiskey.
But if you had put that 10 years in the cask, it would just... it would not be good. So don't distract yourself with an age, with what do you call it, a tropical matured whiskey. Yeah. In a tropical country. That it's just don't write it on there.
No.
You could probably, what you could do is write a month on it. And write the month very small.
Yeah, but still, then it's like every bottling is different.
Yeah.
Depending on how hot or tropical a year is, it matures even faster than usual.
Yeah.
So, like with the solists, you can find out how old they are if you know how to decode it. But I've seen, like for the Vignes Barrique, I've had casks that were just 4.5 years old. I had casks that were 7 years old.
Oh, okay.
And in the end, all that matters is taste.
Yeah.
And when the master blender or the team go through and decides this cask is ready to be bottled, it doesn't matter how old it is, because they look for specific aromas in the whiskey, and once they are there, they go bottle it.
Oh yeah, someone's already said that in the. You can find it out. Is there something written on there, or is it?
Well, if you know how to decode it, you have the bottling date in the back up here.
Yeah.
And you have a cask number. And if you know how to decode the cask number, you can find out how old it is.
How old it is. Okay, so there is an age statement.
There is a.
It's an age statement whiskey. You just have to calculate a little bit.
But you don't find like Vinho Barrique 8 years old.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. And now we're starting with the first one, the Kavalan Local Area Network.
Right.
Now, what is
this
it?
character here means local area network. No, it means LAN, meaning orchid.
Orchid.
So, yeah.
Okay.
You see the orchid on here?
Okay.
King Car does all sorts of stuff. They also have an orchid farm and breed
Of
their own
course they do.
orchids.
Why not?
So the one up here is an own breed. It's called
Okay.
King Car Honey Peach, and it won prizes. There is actually competitions in orchids as well.
Yes.
I didn't know until this whiskey came out. So yeah, it's a rather floral whiskey, and that's meant to be floral.
Okay.
As I said, it's a vetting of a bourbon, port, and STR wine cask. So if you smell it, the first thing you smell is the port cask.
Yeah, I do love. I've already tried that bottle, and I think also gave it a Whisky.com award and a bronze award in December 24. December bronze award is good because we always have the good whiskeys in December.
The best comes in the end.
Yeah, in December is kind of the high time. And what I do love about this whiskey is the mixture between port and STR casks. It also has a mixture of bourbon in there as well, but this mixture between port and STR, first you smell the port, then you have a little bit of that STR, that sweetness, very, very floral,
Yeah.
comes probably from the port, and a little bit of a chocolatey note as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, all Kavalans are pretty rich in flavor.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
stated there. Yeah.
And the thing is, if you think about maturation, we'll come to that later. In the tropical maturations, you talk about 2.5 times to 5 times the maturation, depending on where in tropical area you are. So this is well far away from what you'd have of a
This is
5-year-old Scotch.
Oily, dripping very slowly.
But this is not like one after another. This is a mixture of these casks, right?
Yeah, so each whiskey matures in each cask, and then they vet them together and dilute it to 43%.
Oh, I like it.
Let's try. Ganbei!
Come back. Even though I'm not gonna drop everything. Full volume, 43% is.
I just got some chocolate notes now.
Yeah. It's a bit stronger than the first time I've tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the nose is very floral, light, easy. The taste then has still a bit of floral notes to it. It's a bit more,
It has woody influences
yeah,
as well.
oaky influence, and that is a bit of the theme of Kavalan. They are a tropical distillery. They have a lot of oak. And this here is now an export, as you said. This is not for
Yeah,
their
this
like
is
Asian
made
market, but
For the export market. So
Okay.
you can, I think in some Asian countries you can get them, but not in Taiwan.
wow, okay.
I'm not 100% sure which countries do have it, but definitely Europe has it. I believe the US should get it as well if they don't have it yet.
There is, but then the thing is, there's a lot of switching around, so you can probably get it anywhere if you know where to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like it. And the thing is, what you told me is usually their range is like 40% in
The standard, no, the standard range, so they have a very specific bottle in their standard range. It's shaped according to the Taipei 101 tower. So it's a bottle that goes like this.
Okay.
Because when they started...
Taipei was the capital of Taiwan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And until 2007, they had a skyscraper that used to be the highest building in the world.
Ah, okay.
And that is called Taipei 101 Tower because it has 101 stories.
Ah, okay.
So when they started producing whiskey, they thought, okay, if we sell our whiskey to other countries, what is there apparently that people outside Taiwan might know about Taiwan? So they thought about their tall building.
Okay.
Because as it's like the tallest building in the world, people have heard about it. Mm-hmm. So they got a bottle that should resemble the Taipei 101 Tower. Mm-hmm. And the core range is filled in this kind of bottle, and that has 40%. Mm-hmm. And then they recently widened the range with a triple sherry cask.
Okay.
But this is like a cask maturation series kind of thing. So this is in a bottle looking like this. Mm-hmm. And then the 46% bottles and the solids have the round bottles.
Ah, okay.
And as this is for the export market, they wanted to give it a different bottle shape as well.
Okay, so isn't this
a bit complicated?
There's a bit of a coding in the bottles for Kavalan. You can see what kind of percentage you get with the shape of the bottle. I like that. Okay, so let me get a little bit into the production side. What is behind all that stuff? How is it made? Unfortunately, there is no barley grown on Taiwan.
Oh, there is some, but it's not in the amount and quality as you would need it for whiskey, because like subtropical climate, you usually grow rice in Taiwan. So that's why they import the barley. It just wouldn't give the aromas and the intensity you need.
And do they only do unpeated, or is there also
there is one peated whiskey in the export thingy, and there is another which I would love to get, but they don't give it out. They have an own Kavalan bar in Taipei, which is a really great bar. Okay. So if you ever go there, make sure you visit that. Okay. So they have casks in there, and you can like pour straight from the cask.
Oh, nice.
And there they had, when I was there, had a peated Vinho Barrique. I would murder for that one.
Peated Vinho Barrique.
That is gorgeous.
Okay.
But this is not sold anywhere but in the Kavalan bar.
Unique selling proposition.
Yes, unfortunately. So no, they have one that's called peated whiskey, but it's just slightly peated. Mm-hmm. It's around about 25 ppm, so you still have a lot of the fruity and floral notes you usually have in Kavalan, plus a little bit of peat. But apart from this, the range is unpeated because actually the Taiwanese don't like the peated versions too much. It's more like the Western countries always ask, do you have something peated as well? So in the first step, what they did was the so-called peaty cask. It was an ex-Isla cask filled with unpeated
liquid, okay. Yeah.
Which is nice, but they don't produce it anymore now.
Okay.
So if someone still has a peaty cask at home, keep it.
It's worth something.
Because now it's peated whiskey, so it's a different style. The peated whiskey is more like a campfire and grilled speck. Ham. Yeah. Smoked ham. Whereas the peaty cask was that phenolic peat, from
the Isla. South Coast. South Coast Isla. Yeah. So, but what you always need, and probably define also the location of the distillery, is the water. And the water comes from the Xueshan.
The snow mountains.
Snow mountains, it's
a mountain range next to our distillery.
Yeah, the thing is, if you think about tropical and all that kind of stuff, you think about coconuts and beach and 30 degrees.
We have everything. We have beaches. We have coconut palms.
And then you go up the mountains, top is snow.
Yeah.
Because after 3,000 meters, there's snow. End of story. Yeah, and what they then do have, now have 2 semi-lauter mash tuns, 8-ton capacity, so bit smaller, and they need 2 of them then. Now we have the first picture that was taken actually from one of our employees, and they actually do have modern fermentation. 16 stainless steel modern fermentation tanks. They actually ferment quite long. It's not extremely long, but longer duration with 60 to 72 hours. And they do, of course, do a coat of water around the fermentation tank, so they can actually control the temperature very precisely, because so the temperature difference between summer and winter is quite high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in winter you have like 12 degrees outside, whereas in summer you have sometimes up to 40, 42.
Yeah.
And very humid.
Yeah. So the old method of cooling it a bit further down in summer and having a good insulated wooden wash bag like you do in Scotland just wouldn't work.
Entering the room with the fermentation tanks in April was boiling.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And then they had to wear those white security coat thingies. So I was really feeling sorry for the people who work in there every day. I was like, oh my god, now it's April and it's so hot in there.
Yeah.
How is it going to be like in August? I don't want to know.
Yeah, you've already told me that they have a lot of hygiene and you had to go through like a, what is it, air shower or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a bit of a culture in Taiwan, because I think you always have to do it if you want to do semiconductors and stuff. Yeah, so very, very nice. And yeah, that's the first part of the production. So let's go to the Oloroso sherry then.
Yes, the sherry oak. Can you give me your glass, please? Thank you. Go.
Okay, I see a single cask peated version on sale in New York, NL,
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Costs 150 euros. Is that us? But the single cask peated, the peated is, but then the normal peated production.
Yeah, but we don't have a lot of the peated. So in Germany, our importer has filled an own cask.
Okay.
It's like the Schlumberger collection series. They have a peated, and but they don't regularly sell the peated ones.
Ah, okay.
So there isn't that much of a capacity for peated.
Yeah, if it's not the main product. So
yeah, it's Netherlands.
Yeah, Netherlands. And this one also got an award, but it didn't get any medal because in 2017 we didn't have any medals. So, but this is it's a Oloroso sherry oak. So what kind of, is that just a lot of sherry oak casks, or how is that?
Yeah, different batches of Oloroso sherry.
Oh, okay.
And then battered together, diluted down to 46%.
And as always, non-colored.
Non-colored, non-age stated.
That's the thing that's always going on with Kavalan. Yeah, and you realize it's a lot different. Whereas here it was very more light and
fruity, and this is
floral.
more like dark chocolate.
Yeah, this is a lot of nutty dark chocolate. You know, you have these rum raisins in chocolate, like you got from grandma, and you really didn't like it. You wanted the crunchy nuts, but this is the one.
What was wrong with me? I always liked the ones with the rum inside.
You like the rum raisins? No, that was the ones that I really didn't like when I was small. That was always the leftovers. But now I do like them. Yeah. But it's really a lot stronger in the nose. I'm really afraid of what's coming with the taste. Because if the other one was very strong in the taste and floral in the nose, and now with that in the taste,
let's
excited.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Ganbei.
Ganbei. Mm. Ooh.
That is a lot of sherry aroma.
Yeah, that is spicy. You have a nice nuttiness. You have a bit of a dried fruits as well, and a lot of that spiciness with the oak.
Yeah. Gets slightly dry in the end on the tongue.
Yeah. How many percent is that? Did
46.
we mention that? 46. Oh, okay. So this is the, as you said, the bigger bottles. That is the 40, the stronger ones, as you said. Yeah. Because that one's not 46. I remember that from the first one. Oh. Yeah, that is why Kavalan is coming into such a high reputation, because they really find the spot where you have an intense whiskey in your glass, but it's not over the top where you're just like, okay, it's like
That's
chewing oak.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid, I'm not quite sure, but it's probably hard for their warehouse management to just find the right spots for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to not have it over
matured and
matured.
Yeah, so it takes a lot of control over the casks.
Someone has to taste a lot of whiskey.
And that in that climate, honestly, when I entered the warehouse, they opened the door and it's like a wall of alcohol is smashing right into your face.
Oh, yeah.
So I was wondering, are they allowed to drive their cars home at night? Because it felt like you breathe in pure alcohol.
Yeah, there were special licenses in Kentucky. I'm not quite sure if that is still around, but they got special licenses when they had started alcohol restrictions, that the guys from the distillery, they were still allowed to drive. I'm not quite sure if these licenses still exist, but there was a license for people to drink and drive in America.
Okay.
But they were very special licenses. I'm not quite sure if they are county licenses or licenses given out by the local sheriff or something. I don't know. But there were licenses. They weren't allowed to drink and drive. Don't quote me on that. Yeah. So next up with the production is one of the most important things, and that's the distillation. And you told me, what was it, Dr. Jim Swan?
Yeah.
So he was helping setting it all up.
Yeah, he was hired as an advisor because the people from Kavalan came from the beverage industry. They started with root beer.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some experience in drinks, but not in cask management. And that's why they said, okay, we need someone who has experience with cask management.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dr. Jim Swan came on board and said, look, I've never made whiskey in subtropical climate before, so we have to experiment a lot. But why should this not work? It just takes time. We need to see what works, what doesn't, how high you distill. We have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know Dr. Jim Swan, I know it from another distillery. I'm not quite sure if I mentioned Kavalan in that video, because after that he actually went to a desert country where he opened, he managed to get a good distillery up and running as well. So kudos to him. He's a really good guy.
Yeah.
So you can see, but it's 2005 it was built, so very modern with glass front. And after the beginning, you said he ordered another still, and then he enlarged to now 24 size pot stills. And that is incredible and very hard to get also, because Forsyth is a big company, and they do a lot of production. They have a lot of people working, but they still have a long waiting list.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the problem when he wanted to expand. And
Yeah.
he called them and said, hey, look, I would like to purchase another stills. And yeah, you will have to wait 3 to 5 years. So he was like, okay, not good. What can we do else? We need to expand.
So the wash stills are 12,000 liters, and the spirit stills are 7,000 liters. And this, we didn't know what we took there as a photo, but you have a bit of a story for that.
Yeah, when he wanted to expand and Forsyth told him it needs waiting for several years, he thought, okay, but that doesn't help me with my problem now. I want to expand. So he was checking out different producers of stills, and he found Arnold Holstein in Germany and asked them if they could build him some stills there. So they said, yes, we start. So he got those Holstein stills installed in his distillery. Then he started distilling new make and found out that the new make tasted different to the one you get from the pot stills. And as our boss is a very quality-driven guy, he's like, that doesn't taste like the whiskey I want to make.
Okay.
I'm not using those stills for whiskey. So they were just standing there for the years, being decorative. I think since 2019 or something, he distills gin on them, mainly for the Asian market.
Okay.
But he stopped using them for whiskey, as the result wasn't the quality he wanted to have. So he waited until Forsyths could deliver the stills.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, these are then the German stills now used for gin. Very, very interesting. But yeah, they are a lot different. They're very it's cubicle shaped, or
it's a column.
Yeah, and column. There's a rectifier on top of it, and the line arm is a lot smaller. So it gives you a lot of different different reflux and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it tastes different. But everything runs through a normal 4th size spirit safe, where you can see there's the tasting glasses, and there's the lever for the feints and the hard piece, and then there is the next topic, the warehouses. Bit special, because we on the one side we have that topic with the tropical climate, where they actually do warehouse management, but also the earthquakes.
Yes.
So what's the deal with that?
Taiwan is a high-risk earthquake country.
Okay.
So there's lots of seismic movement going on. And in order to make sure our staff is safe, even when the earth shakes, they put all their smaller casks on pallets and put strings around them. Mm-hmm. So they are secured on the pallet and do not fall down and kill workers in the warehouse. Only our big cask, like the sherry butts, they are stored lying.
Okay.
But then there is 4, how do you call that? Like those triangle-shaped things, which you can put underneath the cask.
These cask holders, or I don't know.
So there's 4 on each cask.
Oh, okay.
To make sure the sherry butt doesn't roll.
Okay.
And they only have 2 layers of sherry butts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So also what is easy, what they do is they actually do have warehouse management. So they actually do have about 42 or 40 degrees Celsius on top and 20 at the bottom, or 25 at the bottom, somewhere around there. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, 60, 65 to 120 or something. 125. I don't know. I'm not quite good with the Fahrenheit, but very hot on the top, very normal at the bottom. So what they then do is they just exchange for different periods of maturation. And as you mature with about, what did you say, 4 to 5 times the speed?
Yeah.
You also have 4 to 5 times the angel's share.
So, unfortunately.
Yeah, that gives you a bit of a disadvantage with the efficiency or the output that you can produce there. If you have 9 million liters of production and you lose quite a lot, then
half is gone. Oops.
Half is gone. It knocks you down a little bit. Yeah. But they do have their own cooperage, and they do have their own bottling facilities as well. Mm-hmm. So that is quite nice. So this is a guy who is actually, is that charring, right? That is charring. With the big flames is always charring. But Dr. Jim Swan, you can always see when the distillery had Dr. Jim Swan. And
there's an STR cask in the range, yeah. So it's like the wine casks.
Yeah.
They get STR treatment for shaved toast and recharred. Yeah. So all our wine casks, when they come in, first of all, they take the first layer off the cask. So you take the tannins out. Then you put them over a super dimensional toaster and heat the cask up so that the layers underneath set the aromas free. And then you do what you see in the picture and rechar it. So they burn it at the highest level. So you get those alligator skin in the end.
They do good char, okay.
Yes, they do.
That one. Okay.
And the same happens to the bottom and the top of the cask. And then it gets filled with you make.
Yeah, I guess this guy, if you have like 42 degrees Celsius and you do it charring, that is...
Yeah, poor him.
That is a hot place to work. That is a hot place to work.
But it's very funny. After he finished the process and you walk in, it smells like in a bakery.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because if you have that sweetness that from the toasting, because the toasting is really important to give you a bit of sweetness in your cask, because it takes the, lignin from the oak and breaks it down to a bit of a sugary caramel thing that actually gives this color and also a good amount of sweetness in the whiskey. Lignite? I don't know. It's chemistry.
I was sick in chemistry.
But I actually did like the chemistry classes, but yeah, they were quite extensive. Yeah. Okay. Also, here says James Morgan says a low char to two medium toast. Yeah, helps with vanilla. Yeah, the medium toast really helps with the vanilla. So we're coming up to the last one or third one. It's the Solist, and Solist is kind of the...
Every Kavalan that is a single cask strength whiskey is called Solist.
Okay.
And then the respective casks give it like the full name. So this is called Solist Vinho Barrique because it's matured in a wine cask.
A barrique cask.
Yeah.
So
here we have 55.6% of alcohol.
Okay, that's the cask strength.
So now we're talking. Fun's over.
Yeah, 55. That's
for Kavalan. That's still okay-ish. Most expressions are between 57 and 59, or 56 to 59. I'd say.
Okay. So they're filling probably their cask with around the standard 62.
They have to fill them with less than 60% due to a local law.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
it's chemistry again. I don't get it, but there's a different shave of the curve in diluting. No, not diluting. How do you call it? Like the angel's share compared water to alcohol. Like what the fun through the wood.
Yeah, the what's it called? The partial pressure of alcoholic vapor or water vapor. But that's deep in the chemistry. But the thing is, you know that from Kentucky, they also have that when you're at the very, very top of the warehouse, actually the water evaporates faster than the alcohol and you rise in ABVs, but you also lose a lot of volume in total. And at the bottom, or in Scotland, you always lose ABVs.
We have one spot in the warehouse, nobody knows why, the alcohol level goes up, whereas in all the others it goes down. So sometimes you find, we had at Schlumberger, we recently had a port cask that had 60.2, even though it was filled with less than 60% of alcohol.
Yeah, at the 12th level in the wick warehouses in Kentucky, they also rise there. But anyway, at the top, you lose too much to be having it worth it. So the Barrique is always kind of a hefty wine. So I'm looking for. Oh yeah. This is the strongest one of them all. For me, it's very deep into cacao.
Always reminds me of the chocolate rum-filled balls with chocolate sticks on the outside my grandmother used to have in her living room when I was a kid. The smell of that is in the Vinho Barrique always.
Yeah. It's it has a lot of chocolate in it. And yes, definitely a bit of a rum flavor going on in there. I really like it. I expected it to be heftier and even more oaky and barrique.
The nose is pretty fruity.
It works. It really works. It has fruitiness, a lot of dried fruitiness and that rum flavor going on, and a lot of dark chocolate and cacao and all that kind of stuff. But I really Yeah, they found the spot for that cask. They found the limit for that cask to have it filled with a lot of volume and then also not be over the top. Yeah. So,
Ganbei.
Ganbei. Oh, full of volume.
That
Also
was funny.
55.
The very first second on my tongue, I had chocolate. Sweet, dark chocolate, and then in the end, it gets dry.
Okay. I do get the dryness in the end. That is a bit of a theme for Kavalan, but especially for the Vigno Barrique.
Yeah.
And it's hefty. It's strong. It has good amount of oak in it. You can't hide with that. But it has that nice cacao chocolate flavor. A little bit of that dried fruit character that you had on the nose. This one actually does taste like it smells. The first one, the smell was very, very bloomy, and the taste was full of volume, stronger than in the nose. But this one really gives you what it has. So, would you recommend having a bit of water in that with 55?
I always try it neat first,
Okay.
and then with Vigno Barrique. I'm always a bit cautious with water because I had the experience just for my flavor. For me, it loses a bit of its fruitiness when you add water, depending on the cask. It always depends on the cask. But here, before I put water in my glass, I rather take a sip of water in my mouth. Do not swallow. Add the whiskey and see if I like it. If I like it, I add water. If not, I haven't ruined my whiskey.
Okay. Usually we pour very, very small amounts.
I would recommend try both.
Yeah.
But with this one, I say I'd rather try it with only a sip and see if you like it. And if not, keep it neat. Whereas if you say, I like it, add water.
I do like it neat. It works very well neat. But let's have a look how it works with a little bit of water.
It changes a lot. In the first second, it gets nice and fruity. But in the end, for my flavor, it's too dry with water. That's why I prefer it neat, and I'd rather handle a higher ABV. But having those fruity aromas still till the end.
Yeah, it starts off fruitier, but you're right. It feels very dry.
After you swallowed, you get this very dry aftertaste.
Yeah.
And I
becomes very, very oaky as well.
Yeah,
like
and that's to me it's too much. So that's why I prefer the barrique without water.
Yeah, it was more barrique. This one with water, it feels less barrique than the other one. Less wine, more oak, and a dry note. What I also very amazed of how they still don't have that much tannins in them. Usually when you have these hot countries, you tend to run in tannin problems where you have like bitterness and strong oak. So they do have strong oak, but it works well with that. So I guess that's kind of a bit of it's not a secret, but you know why they work on the international market and why they still can produce 9 million liters of alcohol, because people like their stuff because it's well made. Yeah. And it's a nice topic, and it's very much of a mirror for the Scottish, like, hey, you don't need that rain all day, all year long to have a good whiskey. But it's totally different to Scotch. It's not a Scotch.
No, it's a Kavalan.
Yeah, it's a Kavalan. It's something very different. It's just a Kavalan. Yeah. I'm amazed if there is what will be there in the future. I mean, there's a lot of solists going on.
Yeah.
You can explore a lot of stuff. What was that in the German one? The Polo Cortado?
Palo Cortado, yeah.
Yeah,
That's their newest expression. For now, it's just sold in Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
So I hope that one day I get some bottles for Germany as well, because I'm really curious about the Palo Cortado.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's basically the last sherry missing in their sherry lineup. They have Oloroso, they have Fino, they have Amontillado, Manzanilla, Moscatel, Pedro Jimenez.
Yeah.
So we're lacking the Palo Cortado.
But I guess they're gonna come out at some point.
Yeah, probably
just
you have
gonna-
to wait until they have more casks available.
Ah, yeah, that is the thing.
And that's
Yeah.
that's always the bad part. If the home market isn't saturated, they don't give it into export, because the main market is
Is their main market, yeah. Okay, there's a question from Greg's Whiskey Guide. So we're not checking the chat. Yeah, we are checking the chat, not just regularly, but at some point. So what's your favorite Kavalan expression so far?
That's hard.
I tried a few Kavalans. I haven't tried enough solists yet, probably to have a solist as
Okay.
I really fell for the Lan.
Lan is nice. What I personally also love is the King Ka Conductor.
Okay.
That is the one and only whiskey, even after 12 years, I cannot put in words.
Okay.
Because it's so complex. It's like 8 different casks vetted together.
Ooh, okay.
So whenever you think, now I know what I have on my tongue, another aroma is added. So it has also only 46% of alcohol, but it has literally everything from fruit to peppery notes in the end.
Sounds nice.
I really like that one. And from the Solace, that's hard. I like the Barrique a lot, but I also had some Madeira casks I really love.
I've been to Madeira. Madeira's nice.
I haven't been to Madeira, unfortunately, but
There's another question, a little bit of a more of a political question. Any problems with trade in China? I think they just
don't
go
think so,
just ship around,
as
right?
they sell in China.
They do sell in China.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
it
Okay.
works at some point. But don't
Okay,
ask me. That's because I'm just taking care of the German-speaking market, so I don't really know.
Okay, I guess there are tensions, and yeah,
But in the
Germany
end,
we
they're all
say,
businessmen, I guess.
yeah, they still want to do business. Yeah. What if it is I haven't seen on the continent? We've already answered that questions. Yeah, I guess it's just too important to have it as a business partner, and for China, I think they cannot ignore that, like, everything as from computers is built there. Like, just they can't bury that, and why should you bury such a good stuff? Yeah, it's amazing how they work themselves up. I can still remember I've been to what was that small whiskey village in Nuremberg.
Small?
Yeah, it used to be small. Now it's like huge. But when they were still in that small hall right next to the big halls.
But it was parallel to the fair.
Freizeit, something with like surfing and camping and all that kind of stuff. And they had a little hall on the side, and it was packed and crammed. And that's, I think, when I first met them, and everybody's like, yeah, Taiwan, yeah, they're gonna go bankrupt at some point. But amazingly, they really made a big mark on the international market.
Yeah, especially this bottling here. Like, I grabbed.
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
they all do have.
They won the World Whiskey Award in 2015.
Oh, nice.
So this is like the recognition of the industry, because you have different categories, like countries summed up together, and then they choose, if you have a category winner, it goes into the next round.
Yeah.
And in the final round, they pick one whiskey as the world's best single malt of the year. And in 2015, it was the Vinho Barrique. And that was the year I will never forget. We were actually in Nuremberg at the village. And all of a sudden, my phone wouldn't stop ringing.
Everybody
my
wanted
distributor's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Everyone wanted to purchase barrique, and my entire stock was sold out within an hour. So when I was back, I called Taiwan and go like, "Hey guys, can I order barrique?" And they were like, "You wish. We don't have any."
Oh, sold out. Yeah. So, but they all do have nice cardboard boxes as well. So. Some of them are like with real metal and stuff, and the others are packed, and they all come with little what do you get with the
the silicates.
The silicates, don't eat them.
And they need to put them in because it's so humid in Taiwan in order to keep the humidity out.
And I thought that was like a culture thing where they like...
No, it's really...
Every computer chip that you have, you also get these little boxes.
Packages of the whiskies. In the beginning, the Solist was in like a paper box with an aluminium lid.
Oh, okay.
And it got rotten in their warehouse because it was paper. After that, they swapped to like a round fake leather box you could open to the side. And that one as well... couldn't handle the humidity. Okay. And now they have this, and it's at some point there is a certain layer on top, so we hope it works with that one now. But it's not that they get bored and change their packaging all the time, it's the climate that makes them change their packaging.
But if you have like, this is around that, I mean, it's, how much is that? It's 120 or something, 120 euros or something, above 100, so... A certain packaging is in order to have that nice box in there. So I think we're through. We still have the competition. Which one was the best one? I still have my favorite, but I'm not quite sure because second place is different this time. I think.
Yeah, it is actually. Now our palate is already.
For me, this time it's 1-3-2. The barrique just beat the sherry this time, but really the Lan is just such a nice combination between flowery and intensiveness.
I really love the nose of the Lan.
Yeah. The local area.
Network, yeah.
I like it. But the Lan in Kavalan, is that the same Lan?
Same character, yeah.
It's the same?
It's the same character in the word Kavalan and in the word for Yilan, like the city where the distillery is located.
So it's all about the flowers in that area and all about the flowers in Kavalan.
The problem is that I don't know if it's even the meaning of flower if it's in Gomalan.
Oh, okay.
Because Chinese is complicated. You always have, like, usually a word consists of 2 characters. Mm-hmm. And each character is divided into a phonetic and a symbolic part. Oh, so you can have read words. I know
you have 4 pronunciations per word,
as well, but you can read words without knowing what you just read. And you just know how to pronounce them because you know them from another combination.
Oh, okay, interesting. Because I had a bit of Chinese and it's very difficult. It's like you have to say wo. That was I think I. Wo was I. Wo 喜欢游泳. I think I probably.
Swimming.
I like to. I was on mainland China, but. I tortured that guy to say, I went to the pool and he was the guy who gave me the towel. It's like, I'm going to tell you, I like swimming, whether you like it or not. And he was like, here's your towel. It's like, did you understand me? Do I have to repeat myself? And I was like, me, Hyoyong. Here's your towel. But I think you understand me.
Yes, I did.
But this is all I can remember. This is I think... Was it De Goa is Germany, huh?
De Goa.
De Goa. And what was they don't call themselves Chinese but Zhongguo. Yeah. That was interesting for me. Yeah. But from what the people said, I only remember that I understood one word. I can't remember the word now, but I understood.
Mayo?
No, it was the company.
We don't have it.
No, the factory. The word factory. I was like, everyone was talking like that word was factory, and we just came from the factory. He just probably said we came from the factory. I was really proud of that because you can't understand the word what they're saying. But you did study Chinese.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So how long do you need to?
Forever, I guess.
Forever, okay.
Well, there is this myth: if you know 3,500 characters, you could read a newspaper. Wrong.
Okay. So, actually, we have studied finished just 8 people, so a little bit of a thing there. So, Kavalan Sherry actually winning here, and the German one it was actually the Solist Barrique. And the Lan actually tying here with the Solist Barrique.
That is cool.
That is cool. Yeah. Still, I think I'm a bit outsider because the more intense versions actually were more well liked from our customers. But I really do like the Lan, and I think it's just nice bottling.
Well, if you look for like, it always sounds to me like the everyday dram.
Yeah, like the entry or the everyday.
This is definitely the one I'd go for. Because
the thing is,
with the Vino Barrique, you need to be in the mood. You need time to sit down and enjoy it. And whereas sometimes it's not complicated, but there is so much of flavor to it. Yeah. And then you have the high alcohol level that not every day I'd go for a Barrique.
Yeah.
Whereas this is definitely something.
But it's still, if you have it, Kavalan is still so intense that it's probably still not a side dram.
No.
It's still probably more a sipping dram.
But it's funny, if you take your glass with your Barrique, smell it, and go back to the Lan, it's right in there.
As you said, I think in the beginning of the German one, it is very different to have.
Pimp up Lan's ABV and do the poll again. Come on, I am happy we finally got something filled with 43% and not 40.
Which is strange because we don't have any 40s on the table today. But I think in the European world the 40 is kind of the blend from the supermarket and
I don't know. Usually I get in touch with the whiskey enthusiasts in fairs. They never go for the 40%. So basically,
the 40% is from the supermarket.
We can put the triple sherry there because that feels stronger than it is.
Yeah.
But the rest from the core range is hardly ever touched in whiskey fairs.
Mm-hmm.
They start with Lan and above.
Okay.
Whereas I think if you are a trader and you have a shop, it's probably a different picture you get.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, yeah. Have you ever been to a fair in Taiwan or in not yet?
Not, no.
Because it's probably gonna be a whole different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To them, I think their cash cow is the classic or the concert master.
Mm-hmm. It's just I've also experienced. I was in Shanghai. I've experienced their kind of society. It was like I was on top in like a pool bar or something like that, some like scene bar or something, and they were like giving it out and just showing around and really gumby and drinking. It was like really it was not a Kavalan, but it was a Scotch, but it was $100 euro bottle, and it was
never mind
gumby. I was like, what the but yeah, it's something else. Yeah. So but I guess we've had our time. Now we don't have a end time. So do you have anything else?
No, not for now. Anyone still have a question?
I think they're just talking. Yeah. So the next live tasting will be somewhere in autumn again. Can't tell you anything about when it will be. We are still planning with that. So if you'd like to see the next live tastings, have a look at the have a look at Whisky.com/live sometimes in August or September or something like that. And yeah, next up will be the distillery videos again because I'm gonna go on tour soon. Ooh. So yeah,
Cool.
Thank you very much, Silvia, for
Thanks for
being here.
inviting me.
Yeah, it was lovely.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
really
hope
fun.
The guys had fun too.
Yeah, and
we have some new Kavalan fans all over the world now.
yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. And if you like this video, then please feel free to share it with your friends. And if you'd like to buy a few Kavalans, then have a look at Whisky.com in the shop. We do have a lot of expressions there. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.